Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, an diesem Ort in der Mitte Berlins gedenken wir heute gemeinsam der 6 Millionen Opfer der Shoah. Wir gedenken der jüdischen Männer, Frauen und Kinder, die ermordet wurden von Deutschen, auf Befehl von Deutschen, mit dem Wissen von Deutschen. Als deutscher Außenminister stehe ich hier mit Entsetzen und Scham. Dieser Ort mahnt uns Deutsche, der Opfer zu gedenken, die Überlebenden zu würdigen und die Lehren aus den Menschheitsverbrechen der Shoah zu ziehen. Das beginnt hier bei uns in Deutschland. Im Jahr 2024 erreichte die Zahl antisemitischer Straftaten in diesem Land einen neuen Höchststand. Dass Jüdinnen und Juden sagen, ich fühle mich in Deutschland nicht mehr sicher, dass sie ihre Kinder ermahnen, auf der Straße kein Hebräisch zu sprechen, das beschämt mich zutiefst. Und deshalb wird sich die Bundesregierung jeder Form des Antisemitismus mit Klarheit, mit Härte und mit Konsequenz entgegenstellen. Lieber Gideon, dass du heute hier an meiner Stelle stehst, ist alles andere als eine Selbstverständlichkeit. Nach dem Menschheitsverbrechen der Shoah verbindet Israel und Deutschland eine einzigartige Freundschaft. Ich bin dir zutiefst dankbar, dass wir den Weg der Versöhnung zwischen unseren Ländern gehen durften. Ich bin dankbar, dass wir auf diesem Weg so weit vorangeschritten sind. Der Kampf gegen Antisemitismus, das Einstehen für jüdisches Leben in Deutschland und der Einsatz für die Sicherheit und für eine friedliche Zukunft des Staates Israel ist uns Verpflichtung und wird es bleiben. Vielen Dank.
Foreign Minister of Germany, Johann, Wadephul, dear friend, ladies and gentlemen. I stand here 80 years after the end of the Holocaust. I stand in a place which enshrines the memory of 6 million murdered Jews of Europe. 80 years have passed. With heavy heart, I say today that the lessons seems to have been forgotten. Anti-Semitism is raging today unchecked in the world and especially on European soil. In Germany, there is an anti-Semitic incident once every hour. 8,600 incidents in 2024, 77% increase. Today in Europe, today in Germany, Jewish people are afraid. They are afraid to wear a kippah. They don't feel safe in public. Students are staying away from campus. Jewish institutions are heavily guarded. This cannot be normalized. The anti-Semitism of 2025 has many shades. Anti-Semitism rooted in racism is present on the far right. Anti-Semitism is also among the leftist elites. They demonize and delegitimize the state of the Jewish people. Their perception is as if Israel's sovereignty in its historic homeland is a colonial phenomenon. In the Middle East, human rights are being brutally trampled everywhere. Yet, they always want to shame the only democracy in the Middle East, a country surrounded by enemies seeking its elimination, that has never abandoned the path of democracy, and this is Israel. The country in which Arabs enjoy full human and civil rights. Anti-Semitism is of course thriving also among radical Islamists. They call for the elimination of the Jewish state from the river to the sea. The new anti-Semitism targets the state of Israel. Ancient hatred has been transformed into a modern plan of action to deprive, in effect, the Jewish people's right to its own nation state, to deny the right of Israeli citizens to security, to remove the right of Israel, the most attacked and threatened country in the world, to defend itself, and to put the Jewish people once again under the threat of elimination by enemies who are openly calling and acting to eliminate it. On October 7th, Hamas committed the largest massacre against the Jewish people since the Holocaust. They murdered children in front of their parents, and parents in front of their children. They burned babies, raped women in an unimaginably cruel way. The only difference between Hamas and the Nazis was their capabilities. October 7 is the fate they plan for every Jew, for all of Israel. They openly describe it in the Hamas Charter. But the reality we live in is even wider than October 7. It is an attack initiated against the Jewish state on 6 other fronts since then, all based on the same plan, the elimination of Israel. Hezbollah from Lebanon, Palestinian terror organization in Judea and Samaria, the Houthis from Yemen, Syria, Shia militias in Iraq, and above all, Iran, the head of the snake. On each of these fronts, a war was initiated against Israel. We did not initiate a war on any of these fronts. We only retaliated. Hamas, Iran, the Houthis, and Hezbollah share the same goal. The Hamas Charter speaks about raising the banner of Allah on every inch of Palestine. It declares that on Judgment Day, the trees and the stones will say, I quote, "Muslim, servant of Allah, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him." The leader of Iran, Khamenei, regularly tweets open calls for the elimination of Israel. Only yesterday, Minister, I quote, "The Zionist regime, based on definitive divine decree, is collapsing, and God willing, it won't last much longer." Another quote from 2 months ago. "The Zionist criminal gang must be totally eliminated from Palestine." We appear twice, not once, twice, on the flag of the Houthis of Yemen, "Death to Israel," alongside "Curse be upon the Jews." On their flag. What is the international community doing to stop this open jihad to eliminate the only Jewish state? Normalizing a fanatic state like Iran, attacking Israel, pressuring it, threatening it with sanctions. And now the biggest prize is being offered to the murderers, establishing a new terror state in the heart of our homeland. An interesting lesson for the jihadists. Does Western civilization not recognize who the allies of the jihadist axis headed by Iran are? Have the democratic nations lost the ability to define who is friend and who is foe? Who fights for the way of life? Who threatens it? Friends, we mark 60 years of relations between Israel and Germany. This will always be special relations. The historic, at the time controversial decision made by David Ben-Gurion has now become a consensus. These relations are not one-sided. We believe that we can contribute to the security of Germany no less than Germany can contribute to our security. We seek to defend ourselves by ourselves. We need the tools and the means to do so. The very means that our people tragically lacked throughout our long exile, especially in the previous century. The Jewish people are one of the world's most ancient nations. We should have been one of the largest nations today. But we were murdered throughout our long exile. Its peak was during the Holocaust, the historic turning point in Jewish history made possible by the establishment of the State of Israel. The renewal of our ability to defend ourselves from enemies seeking to eliminate us. I hear the new anti-Semites in Germany. They want to abandon the Jewish state to the jihadist psychopaths surrounding us. Those who are shouting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I understand that they seek special relations, not with us, not with Israel, but instead with the successors of Mufti Haj Amin al-Husseini, Hitler's ally. We remember the 6 million victims of the Holocaust. It is etched into our memory, the memory of every Jew, the horror, the helplessness, the humiliation. We will never let our nation come close to a similar peril as the Holocaust, because we swore never again, and we shall never break that oath. And yes, that obligates us to be stronger than our enemies, enemies pursuing the same goal that Hitler set. I am proud to stand here as Israel's foreign minister, giving a voice to the once voiceless of a proud, flourishing, sovereign Jewish state. May these words be in the blessed memory of Rivka and Razel, the sisters of my late grandfather David, that were murdered on the European soil, simply because they had no one to protect them. Am Yisrael Chai.